happens when the sound person and the worship person are married and have small children. We don't actually do sound checks. You get to be our sound check. We had the mics switched. So hi, it's so good to see everybody tonight. We've got a smaller group. I know being a 3-day weekend, I think most of our kiddos, most of our teachers and professors are probably sleeping as much as they deserve or warding off illness. I know the Petri dishes are rich right now. And I know a lot of people are just enjoying these longer days of summer that are coming quickly to an end, sadly. So I just want to invite you to just close your eyes if you feel safe to do that. And just take a deep breath. And as you breathe in, I want you to imagine that oxygen filling your lungs and crawling all the way down to your feet. I want to remind you that every single breath that you take is a miracle. I want to remind you that every morning you get up, you get out of bed, you get out of your sleeping bag, that you rise up and you do something. That you are incredible. I want to remind you that you are seen in the season of life you exist in. And I want to remind you that you're doing a damn good job. I want to remind you that you belong. And that there are voices in this world and there are voices in our head that try to tell us we don't, try to tell us that we are disqualified. And I want to remind you that you are worth so much. As we as a country, as a state, are on the part of the world where our season is starting to shift slowly. I don't know if you've noticed, but there are some leaves that are starting to fall. And we're at that cusp point of, it's not quite fall, but we are feeling the shift. And I invite you to lean into the shift, to lean into the growing edges, to celebrate who you are and who you're becoming. And I hope you can find some way to be proud of yourself. As we start this night together, this time of just community and a space to just be together, to be seen, we're going to start with a song, and I want to honor and just name. I know our staff here at TCG has felt it this week. I know there's several people in this room who have shared that with us, that it has just been a week. For all those back in school, it's been a couple of weeks. So we're going to sing a song called Weep With Me. And it just honors the emotions, it honors the heart place that I think many of us find ourselves in, whether it's a consistent thing these days or it's a moment. And it just names the struggle. And it names that the struggle is okay. So I invite you to listen. I invite you to sing along if you want. I invite you to do whatever feels comfortable for you. Weep with me, Lord, will you weep with me? I don't need answers, all I need is to know that you care for me. Hear my plea, are you even listening? Lord, I will wrestle with your heart, but I won't let you go. You know I believe. Help my unbelief. Yet I will praise you. Yet I will sing of your name. Here in the shadows, here I will offer my praise. What's true in the light is still true in the dark. You're good and you're kind and you care for this heart. Lord, I believe that you weep with me. Part the seas, Lord, make a way for me. Here in the midst of my lament, I have faith, I still believe. You love me, your plans to prosper me. You're working everything for good, even when I can't see. You know I believe. Help my unbelief. Yet I will praise you. Yet I will sing of your name. Here in the shadows, here I will offer my praise. What's true in the light is still true in the dark. You're good and you're kind and you care for this heart. Lord, I believe that you weep with me. Turn my lament into a love song. From this lament, raise up an anthem. Turn my lament into a love song. From this lament, raise up an anthem. Yet I will praise you, yet I will sing of your name. Here in the shadows, here I will offer my praise. What's true in the light is still true in the dark. You're good and you're kind and you care for this heart. Lord, I believe that you weep with me. Oh God. God, I pray that those words, that those emotions that can be evoked, and our doubts and our moments of unbelief and in our struggles, God, would just be allowed to exist here. God, you are good. And we love you.
Hi, everybody. Chris has informed me I'm on a clock tonight so that he can watch his ball game. I can't promise him anything. We're going to talk about a complicated passage of Scripture tonight. All year, we've been looking at red letters of Jesus. We've been looking at red letters that challenge us, red letters that inspire us, red letters that totally confuse the crud out of us. And tonight is one of those where I'm like, I love this part. This part is really hard. And so we're going to talk about the whole thing, and we're going to kind of pick it apart. We're going to take some time for some discussion tonight, because I think there's some hard stuff in this passage that we just process together a little bit. I know I've had to process it together this week with myself and other people in my life that kind of serve as a sounding board. So let me read this passage to you. Make you go, well, what's so complicated? What I think is complicated about it, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so it is commonly known as the Sermon on the Mount. It is Jesus's first public sermon. He's giving this massive talk, right? And it lasts about 2.5 chapters in Scripture. And he covers a lot of ground in those 2.5 chapters. And we're going to spend most of the rest of this fall looking at the Sermon on the Mount. And in true Christy form, I'm going to the end first. So we don't do anything in order. We don't do it, in all the ways. So this is found Matthew 7, verses 7 and 8. I'm reading from the New Living Translation, and it says this: keep on asking, and you will receive what you ask for. Keep on seeking, and you will find. Keep on knocking, and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives. Everyone who